Field training naval forces. Naval units are the topic of this briefing. You've got a tough mission on your hands this time. There are 2 units that require aid or they'll be destroyed. One of these is a T-copter, which we've discussed before, and the other is a landing unit. This is a naval unit you haven't seen yet. You need to protect these units and secure the land on the far shore. This is the mission that's been entrusted to you, Saigan. Unfortunately, I was unable to get any bombers or fighters this time, but I did arrange for other units I think will be necessary to our success. I'll explain about these other naval units once we arrive. Time to get moving! Mission 11, Naval Forces. Protect your transport copter. Easier said than done, huh? It looks like it's almost done for. This cruiser is very effective against air units, and it's so close. If you leave the copter here, it'll be destroyed immediately. Hurry up and get it out of there. Can you select it? I can. I can at that. At first glance, it doesn't look like there's anywhere it can pull back to, but there's always a way to... There is a way to save it. Move it here. Load it. Now the transport copter can't be attacked. That's right, you can put transport copters onto cruisers. If you load it, you'll be safe as long as the cruiser isn't destroyed. You can also load battle copters onto cruisers. Cruisers can hold up to 2 units at one time. And by loading units, you resupply those units with fuel and ammunition. You can have a battle copter too. You should try it sometime. Now let's test the attack power of the cruiser. Select it. Cruisers engage enemy units directly. You might be surprised by the kind of units they can attack. They can only fire on air units and submarines. As for right now, you can fire on the sub. Let's attack it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was already selected. I selected it again. That's my fault. I'm sorry. Hawaiian Punch has joined the party. Hello and welcome, Hawaiian Punch. Cruisers are very effective against submarines. And like I said earlier, they're also effective against air units. Since they can only attack certain units, they're a bit limited. Once you learn their intricacies, though, you'll be glad to have them. But learning that right off the bat is pretty hard. If you forget which units they can fire on, press the R button. The ever helpful R button. If you remember that, you'll always be able to get the intel you need. That took longer to explain than I thought it would. Well, let's move on to the next unit's capabilities. Next is the battleship. Can you select it? Battleships attack from a distance, so don't move it. Just open the command menu. Now choose fire! Did you notice that it has a large attack range? That's right, battleships have an attack range of 2 to 6 spaces. Rockets have a range of 3 to 5. You may think it's only a little larger, but it's quite a big difference. You'll understand better as you start to use them more. That's all on battleships for now. Now on to submarines. Select this one, please. Submarines use direct fire to engage the enemy. They can only fire on other naval units. I think this unit should do for now. Fire! As you can see, subs can inflict heavy damage. Subs also have other distinct abilities, but I'll tell you about those later. You've seen a lot of new units here, but this is the last one, the lander. You remember APCs and transport copters, right? You use landers in basically the same way. Like the others, they can't attack. Let's try this one out. First, select this infantry unit. Wrong one, Saigan. Now just load that unit into the lander. You've loaded it. Landers and T-copters are basically the same. That's what you're thinking, right? Actually, there's a big difference. You can load 2 ground units at a time onto a lander. Landers carry land units, and cruisers carry battlecopters. That's what I said, right? Now let's try to load a medium tank. Because 2 people take up the same amount of space as 2 tanks. What did you think? Pretty handy, isn't it? But there's one thing you have to pay attention to. On this map, you can only load units onto a lander at a shallow shoreline. Eventually, you'll be able to do this at a port, but there aren't any here. Just be careful, because it's not like you can land just anywhere. Let's try to drop the troops. Move it over here. Oops. It's just the same as loading units. You can only drop them at ports and shallow shorelines. You can drop infantry here and here. But wait a second, there's a medium tank on this lander too, right? Medium tanks can't move in the mountains, remember? So you can't drop medium tanks into the mountains. If you're going to drop both units at once, you'll have to think about it. Which terrain can you drop them on? Can you drop the infantry here? Now drop the other unit. You can only load and drop at ports and shallow shorelines, so pay attention to where you can drop when you're carrying units. You can just remember, if you can just remember this, you'll have no trouble using landers. Did you get all that? There's one more thing, of course, that she has to say about sea units in general. Like air units, sea units use fuel every day. Battleships, subs, cruisers, and landers. All of them use 1 unit of fuel per day. If they run out of fuel, they sink, and you lose them because gas makes boats float. If you want to resupply them, select an APC and choose Supply, the same as with other units. To recover its HP, you need to move this unit to a port. Unfortunately, there aren't any ports nearby. Well, you can do as you like with the rest of the units. Nell, my dear, you are putting me to sleep. When you're done, choose End. This is another one of those where you start off so strong that I feel that just sitting around and waiting for the enemy to make mistakes is the best way to go. So, we've got a naval battle on our hands here, eh? If Nell hadn't taken out my air units, victory would be much easier. But they can't use most of their troops, so that puts us on equal footing. To battle! Oh shit, I was in range of the other rockets. Let me tell you one more thing about subs. Can you select one? Even if a sub is within an enemy's attack range, there's a way to avoid being attacked. So let me show it to you. Can you press the A button and open the menu? Now choose Dive! Dive, dive, dive! That's right. When a sub dives, it can only be attacked by cruisers and other subs. Plus, since submerged subs can still attack, this is very useful. But there's one thing I have to warn you about, and that's fuel. When a sub dives, it uses 5 fuel units per day. That's about a 1-day supply. If it runs out of fuel, it'll sink, so watch your fuel closely. I'll leave the rest up to you. Good luck! Yeah, Okay, I'm glad I checked that. That is troublesome. That is super troublesome. These troops are in trouble, like, regardless of how I cut it. They're gonna get hit. I should have moved my helicopter last turn. That's what I should have done! You move back. Ouch, you suck. How can you tell if a unit gets to return fire during an attack? So, the attacker does damage first. If there's concern over whether or not a unit can attack another one, like for instance, cruisers can only attack air units and submarines. And to see that, if you hit R on them, it'll show what their weapons work on. So I have missiles to use against submarines, and I have an anti-air gun to use against copters and planes. Mm. Did I make a mistake in unloading my APC? No, I'm good. Screw you, tank. I'm gonna sit over here. So brave. So dumb. This was a very strategic point for Olaf to attack Orange Star. Thanks to you, we managed to block his assault. Thank you. Keep up the good work. I never expected them to make it this far. Just wait until next time. It was a challenge, but you did it, Saigan. You won.
Like all the videos on Saigan Cat's channel are made possible by fans like you. Totally.